Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for May 11th, 2009. This is Patrick Ceresna. When we take a closer look at the S&P 500 using the SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY, when we had that break the other week above that 85-87 focal zone on the upside, it really opened that window for a continuation up into that 92-95 focal point up above. This here is completing all sorts of measured moves on the upside, and this area should be a formidable overhead resistance level on the first go around. We can't rule out the possibility of a melt up kind of short covering squeeze that could even push as high as the 100 to 102 area on the upside. But really at this stage, realistically, we do anticipate the first overhead resistance to be right here. If the 92 to 95 zone acts as that overhead resistance, we may have a pullback that goes all the way back down into the 85-87 zone below. When we take a look at the ISE Regional Banks Index, which is the symbol JLO, last week we were talking about how the 18.5 focal point acted like a good overhead resistance level in the first go around. This week really saw a strong break above that 18.5, which came right into what was our last week's focal point of the 2021 area. At this stage, we are just slightly adjusting that focal point to the 20.5 to 21.5 as that adjusts for the measurement. But nonetheless, this should be an overhead resistance level right where we are. This would be a logical place from where the regional banks would consolidate in here. But if for whatever reason we had a melt up move in the regional banks, if we got above that 21.5 zone, it really opens that window for a push up into the 24-25 area. Next here, I want to look at the ISE Syndex, which is the symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies, and we've seen a very, very robust rally in this particular index, mostly driven by the casino part of the index. And this thing is really breaking higher. It broke above the 90-93 extended moves, and really at this stage the window is open for it to maybe even push as the up to the 104 to 106 area. At this stage, though, it is a little bit late in the game to be chasing this one, as wherever this top comes in, the profit taking cycle can be very steep and sharp on the downside. So we do see a little bit of potential upside left in this, but it's a little bit late in the game to get in. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is the symbol RUF. And last week we were talking about that 9 to 9.25 overhead resistance zone. That did actually hold in the first go around, and we had a consolidation that found support right in that underneath 8.5 zone. Really at this stage, we are just consolidating here. We can't rule out off of that test of the 8.5 zone for us to make one more push higher, which could go as high as the 10.5 to 10.75 area. Nonetheless, we are finishing all sorts of measured moves on the upside, and so we'll be careful on how we trade this to the upside, but nonetheless that we can't rule out still one more push. Next here, I'd like to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is the symbol FUM. And natural gas has been relatively having a strong rally based on a big broader commodity rally driven by the weakening US dollar. And really, we're now seeing a robust follow through. It's now even exceeded our first upside target of 79 to 84, and it's now heading to our secondary upside target, which is the 90-95. This one really has the chance of being a much bigger bull market if in fact we do see continued weakness in the US dollar. If the US dollar is going to have that huge breakdown, then the commodities as a whole, including natural gas, should continue to perform very well. And finally, I wanted to take a look at that ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is the symbol UKX. And we continue to see a very nice, strong follow through on the upside on this UKX. We have that upside target now at the 455 to 465 area. So more or less, we are anticipating this market to hit that overhead resistance level, but we see only limited upside here before we have to have some sort of a corrective wave. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.